It's a world full of plastics. Nigeria yesterday joined the global, what you call the World Environment Day, June the 5th set aside for that. The focus on beating plastic pollution, a statement made by or released by the Office of the Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibajo. The Vice President says corporate organizations, individuals should do more to prevent environmental pollution. And the VP says it is my view that, or it is his view, that for controlling the proliferation of plastic sachet, we must go back to the major producers of fast-moving goods to put in place recycling programs that could effectively ensure that while we seek environmentally friendly options for packaging, we are keeping the environment as free of plastics as possible. The Vice President added that there are, of course, questions about the limited options for cheap packaging of food and drinks, especially where consumers are relatively poor. Nigeria has developed a national strategy for phasing out plastics, where the country has a few recycling plants and more expected to come on board, according to the Vice President, while the Ministry of Environment has a national plastic waste recycling program, which is being implemented in partnership with the organized private sector. And that's from the very top, the level of the government. Some other institutions on Market Street yesterday joined the World Environment Day with the focus on reducing the amount of plastics that we use around the world. The Central Bank had its own World Environment Day at the headquarters in Abuja, where the Central Bank, where the Chief Godwin Emefiele says that there's a need for all stakeholders to take all necessary action to reduce the heavy burden of plastic pollution on the environment. Here in Lagos, the Nigerian Stock Exchange also joined the World Environment Day. The Nigerian Stock Exchange, looking at ending plastic solution, says ending plastic solution is a challenge that we take seriously at the Stock Exchange, according to the head of shared services at the Stock Exchange, Bola Dieko. The Stock Exchange says he recently signed a memorandum of understanding with Recycling Point Limited, that's a private company, for the collection and recycling of waste generated at the Nigerian Stock Exchange offices across the country. So the Stock Exchange says engaging the employees of the exchange, of the NSE, and giving them the opportunity to beat plastic pollution and contribute to achieving the company's sustainability goals. And out of Togo, the capital of EcoBank Transnational across the African continent, EcoBank Group Chief Executive Officer issued also a statement on the World's Environment Day and says that EcoBank's presence across 36 African countries gives us many advantages, but it also imposes on us a huge corporate responsibility of preserving the environment for the future. And that's according to Adeyemi, the Group CEO of the listed lender. So it's a very opportune day for FMDQ, OTC Securities Exchange, to sit together with other stakeholders on flagging off Nigeria's Green Bond Market Development Program, which we'll see tomorrow, formally launched on the FMDQ, OTC Securities Exchange. Yesterday at the SEC's office in Lagos, we had all stakeholders, many of them in attendance, to listen to this first series of the roundtable, which of course, as we speak right now, the second phase is continuing at headquarters of Access Bank here in Lagos. Let's listen to Bola Onodele Koko, who is the CEO of FMDQ, OTC Securities Exchange, making a major presentation. Then after, to Tumi Sekoni, who is the Associate Executive Director in charge of capital markets at FMDQ, fleshing up what this new green bond market development was all about and what to expect tomorrow, Thursday, the 7th of June, when this is officially flagged off.
FMDQ is especially appreciative for the support of the Securities and Exchange Commission. The SEC, I think I'll say, has done two major things for the market when it comes to debt capital market. The first, you agree with me, is registering the FMDQ. And the second was the approval to FMDQ to list debt securities. This approval has led to a lot of the initiatives which FMDQ has worked with the market, one of which is this Green Bond Market Development Program. The SEC also allowed FMDQ to set up a debt capital market development project 2025 in alignment of its capital market master plan. And interestingly, about 2 or 2.5 years ago, the SEC sent the acting DG, Mary Odok, to act as the co-chair with Mr. Bolaji Balogun for the steering committee of that big project. A lot of us know the acting DG. Some probably 2 years, depending on when you join the market. Some 5, some 10, some 20. And as we go along, the number will reduce. But some people over 25 years also know the contribution she's made to the development of the debt capital market. I am particularly appreciative that we have the acting DG with us today, and this certainly is another signal of the strong commitment of the regulator in supporting market development initiative. Today is particularly an exciting one. If I look back to the cold December 22nd meeting with Justin in London, where FMDQ sent me 2 days to Christmas to go and convince Climate Bonds Initiative to work with FMDQ, And after we took pictures, I asked Justin if she thinks she's got a good partner in Nigeria. And Justin said, we've got the best partner.